Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we have a trophy garden roadmap for Middle-earth Shadow of War. This is the free PlayStation Plus game for the PlayStation 4 as of November 2020. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are wanting to go out and platinum this game. This video here is going to show you exactly how to get the platinum trophy. It's going to talk through all the trophies and an explanation roadmap to get the platinum trophy without going into any spoiler details whatsoever. There will be no story spoilers or anything ruined for this game. Let's dive in and take a look at how hard this platinum is going to be to get. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic day today. If you're a new viewer of the channel and you've just discovered this video for whatever reason, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I make new videos like this every single day on the channel, looking at all the latest PlayStation and trophy hunting news. Today's video is about Middle-earth Shadow of War. This is the free PlayStation Plus game for November 2020, and a really awesome PlayStation game as well. For those of you who might not be familiar with this series, this is the second game in the franchise. It basically plays very similar to how the Mad Max game played or how the Batman Arkham games played in terms of overall combat style. You have your attack button and then your sort of dodge button as well. And it kind of has that cat and mouse element that those games have in terms of gameplay. Very kind of stock standard for WB. This series, however, took something and added something additional to that in this thing they called the Nemesis system. Basically, this is it's a new gameplay mechanic where when you encounter an enemy, they can become your nemesis, for lack of a better word, or I guess like your opponent, for lack of a better word. If you defeat them, they fall in the ranks of their army or their military, but if you lose to them, they'll rise in their ranks and they'll remember your combat style and they'll remember your interaction from last time. And it creates this awesome like moment between you and this guy you've been battling with for the entire game, especially as he continues to power up. It takes elements from the first game and it kind of develops them further in this one here, making this a better experience than the first game, but not really doing anything truly unique to make it its own sort of special thing. So that's probably why this one kind of went under the radar a little bit, because it was just more of the same. It's obviously set in the Lord of the Rings universe as well, so it is a licensed property, but probably one of the better Lord of the Rings game that's ever launched before, if not the first one in the series. Trophy-wise, not too bad either. A pretty reasonable platinum trophy, I would say. In terms of difficulty, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10 difficulty. Pretty stock standard open world click-a-thon trophy list, as far as all things are considered. Trophies, we'll talk about what they are shortly, but a 4 out of 10. No difficulty-based trophies or anything like that, so it does make things easy. A few grindy things that you are going to have to do there, and a few moments where you're going to have to be conscious of not progressing too far in a story, but we'll talk about that too. Time to platinum is around 50 hours. Gameplay wise, I would say you're looking at around 35 to 40 hours, and then probably about 10 to 15 hours of grinding, depending on how many side quests and side content you do as you play through the game. Nothing crazy here, standard sort of stock standard open world list. I think a 4 out of 10 and a 50-hour difficulty is, you know, about what you would expect for an open world game. Online trophies, yes, there are online trophies in this, but they're not traditional online or anything like that. They're these weird things that WB were doing where you have to connect to their servers to download data and things like that. Similar situation to the Mad Max game where you have to download data from online to get scrap. This has got another silly mechanic like that, and I don't know why WB were messing around with that sort of stuff earlier this generation, but it's a thing in this game as well. There are 3 missable trophies, but they're not really that missable. All of them are very easy to obtain. We'll talk about all 3 of them at the end of the video, but basically, as long as you don't progress past Act 4, you'll be able to get all 3 of these without too much trouble. So I wouldn't worry about them. There are no difficulty-based trophies. It only requires a single playthrough, thankfully, and there's no chapter select or stacks or anything like that. In terms of a trophy breakdown, there are 53 trophies. As you can see in the image next to it, it actually says 73 trophies, and that's because there's a bunch of DLC for this game as well. But for the base game, it's 53 trophies, split into a few different categories. I've probably done this a little bit lazily because the misc category is blown out so much. But because everything is so broad, I didn't feel comfortable cutting it down any further than this. So you've got 10 non-missable trophies for story-related content, 6 side quest trophies, 14 related to combat, and then 22 related to misc. Those are related to the troops you hire, as well as the nemesis, and a bunch of other stuff in there too, but they're probably the 2 mainish things. You've also got a few collectible things that fit into that camp as well, visiting different locations, and then just a bunch of random stuff that doesn't fit any category except for misc. Steps to platinum are pretty damn straightforward, to be honest. It's play through the main storyline up until Act 3. Once you reach Act 3, clean up all the combat and misc based stuff that you've been that you might not have touched up until that point. My suggestion with these games always is just to play it the way you want to play it until it gets to the point where you're locked out of trophies, and that's basically if you play all the way through to the end of Act 3, you can't miss anything, and this is the best time to do it. Now, if you pass through Act 3 without spoiling anything, Act 4 changes everything dramatically in this game. It changes the entire style of game, which means that a lot of the things that are available in Acts 1, 2, and 3, enemies, camps, etc., just become unattainable. So that's why you need to make sure you do it before you get to Act 4. That's really the only important thing to note. That's where those 3 missable trophies pop in, but it's also where a lot of other combat-based trophies pop in because combat changes in Act 4 as well. So it's important to be aware of. Step 2 is to finish the remainder of the game, being Act 4. And I've also said here, combat trophies will become much harder, which I've just literally repeated myself about. And then it's pretty self-explanatory, right? It's basically just finish everything else off. And then after that, if there is anything else that you'll need to do, this is when you do it. There are some things that you can't unlock until Act 4, some particular skills in the game which you're going to need, which means that final little bit of cleanup won't be able to happen until you're done with Act 4 as well. So let's break it down even simpler. Play through the game and just have a great time. Do side quests, do whatever you want, all the way up through to Act 3. At Act 3, clean up all of the trophies that you can clean up and finish off all of the other challenges and things that you might be missing there, collectibles, etc. Then play through the rest of Act 3 and Act 4, and after Act 4 you can go through and clean up anything. Pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated here, I wouldn't say. Very, very straightforward steps to platinum on this one. The one thing you're going to want to be aware of is these 3 trophies here. Vandal, it came from within, and the Operative. All 3 of these need to be done before you progress to Act 4. It doesn't really matter what they are per se, because destroy a monument, start a conquest, turn all of the war chiefs, bodyguards into spies. They're all like random encounters that you do in the game. They're not things that happen according to story elements. They're all just random encounters, but those encounters won't be able to be had post Act 3, because like I said, the game changes. And that's why they become unattainable. Not because of any story related elements or anything like that, but because of, I guess kind of story related elements. But that's basically it. That's the Shadow of War Platinum trophy list. It's not a very difficult platinum at all, like I said. I think it's a pretty straightforward one. I might have been a little bit bold giving it a 4 out of 10. It might actually be a 3 out of 10. Depending on, I guess, how much of those kind of games you play and how familiar you are with them. I would say it can sit anywhere between a 3 and a 4 out of 10. Really solid open world adventure game if you're into it. I know a lot of people have been playing Mad Max this month because the servers were shutting off. If you've just jumped off Mad Max and you finished that one and you enjoyed that gameplay style, then I think this would be a fantastic next game to play, because it does take a few elements from that Mad Max game's combat systems and kind of develops them even further in this sort of setting, which is really, really neat. So I would highly encourage you guys to check this one out. All the games this month on PlayStation Plus are awesome, and we're all time poor because all the new games are also coming out. But this one here I think is worth your time. I would encourage you guys to check it out if you haven't already. But let me know in the comment section down below if you have platinum to this game already. Maybe you have some additional tips and tricks that don't have any spoilers in that you can leave in the comment section down below. If you are planning on platinuming this game, let me know as well. I'd be really curious to get your thoughts if you're planning on going ahead and trying to get this platinum yourself. Otherwise, that is all from me. Hopefully this guide was helpful. Hopefully someone can get the platinum trophy because of this. And if they can, let me know as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest trophy hunting goodness. I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye for now.